morning, traders. Welcome to the TMT Stock Market Strategy video for Monday, October 3rd. All right, so we had mutual fund inflows that came in at the end of the month, and end of the month window dressing happens every quarter. Markets rallied, and if you notice, the rally was very, very weak, meaning that there was no volume behind that price movement to the upside. Futures right now are basically flat, so we're going to see what happens. We got another 4 weeks before the elections, and it's going to be, I believe, a pretty difficult October for many people that don't understand how the dynamics of the markets work. And what I mean by that is we have a pre-election, now as you know, pre-election cycle. It's always usually bullish. What happens is you're going to get everybody long, which that's what they're doing now. They meaning the smart money, the money managers, and people that can actually move the markets with big inflows of orders. And then I think that at one point in time, you're going to have the markets sell off pretty hard. And I do think that the markets will sell off. Just my opinion. Either way, what candidate gets elected, and I think that if Trump gets in, then the markets will automatically start to sell off right away. I think if Hillary gets in, which I believe is already priced into the market because she has a pretty decent lead against Donald Trump. So I do think that that market will probably push markets higher, and then at one point in time bring the markets down again. And I think that we're in for an exciting fourth quarter, which should be pretty good stuff. And I think that the markets at one point will probably move lower before the election, and then rally into the election, and then again probably sell off one more time before we get that Santa Claus rally. Knowing that the uncertainty may be upon us, and remember, guys, as the polls get closer and closer, the markets are going to be whipsawed. So it's going to be very interesting for those who don't understand how the markets are going to be traded going into the election year. But I do think that it's going to be a pretty solid fourth quarter. I'm very excited getting this market out of this range. We've been in a range, guys, for 3 months. It's just been crazy. Since July, the markets have absolutely did nothing other than the one Brexit vote. As you know, then the markets rallied up, gapped up, and then we had that one move lower on the ECB. Markets took it higher, and then it just been chopping around into this bear flag. And I'll show that to you in the chart. So let's get right into it. TLT, we're in a good spot here now. This is a spot that I'm looking for. If we can take out Friday's low, I'm going to be looking to probably initiate some sort of a short signal in the TLT. Remember, we rallied on here on safe havens flows, and that's when market was kind of iffy the last couple of weeks. And what I mean iffy is every dip has been bought. It's very manipulated the market at one point. But again, guys, you got to be careful because when risk off happens, everybody is one side. It's so bullish. I do a lot of reading. I try to look at all of the headline in the papers. USA Today said stocks are headed to the moon. That to me is a topping pattern. If that's not a topping pattern, that to me, just alone sentiment is so extremely bullish. I believe that it could even be that the markets may have topped, even if we get to 2200, 2300. I have a funny feeling that the markets are in for some sort of a short-term pain before we start to rally again. But we'll see. Again, it's just hindsight right now. Let's make sure price gets us there first. All right, so there's a TLT looking for a decent short here. There's a GLD, which is the gold ETF. You can see here we have a descending wedge getting closer and closer into the apex. And you can see that the MACDs and RSI just making lower lows and lower highs here. And again, we have a double top. The formation measures to 120, as you know. So we're looking for a breakdown in gold. And I think gold will flush lower as well as the market and any other asset class that's been so one-sided. Usually does. You shake out all the longs or to that side of the trend, which in this one is long. And I do think that gold is going to go lower at one point in time. So there's gold. Spiders, as you can see here, guys. I mean, you got to look at the fact that we're stuck in this range here, and it looked to me as a bear flag. I don't want to call this an uptrend channel because really haven't gone anywhere. We've been sideways for 2.5 weeks here. Again, volatility has expanded, but we are sideways in July, or sideways in August, and all of September. So it really has been dismal type of trading, guys. Dismal, if you say the least. But spiders, I'm looking at higher prices in this formation here, and if anything, we're going to look at a 217.75 print. Should hold, and then start looking for lower prices again. All right. Here's a 60-minute chart. Here is the upper end of the resistance at 217.60. As you know, this is a 60-minute chart. You can see here we've gone nowhere, guys. Absolutely nowhere. And I go back here. This is exactly what I'm looking at here. Okay, so sideways here. Next is going to be the IYT transports. And you can see here that we're topping here. Now this is the only caveat here. Now the transports now are starting to look bullish. Don't ask me why. It's just amazing how transports does nothing and all of a sudden now it's basing. There's absolutely, you could see it. There's a matrix here that you can look at as far as transportation, the trucking, the rails, and stuff like that. Goods and services are down shipping, and UPS said it, FedEx said it, and that's just the truckers. But now it doesn't matter. Now we're just starting to rally to pick them up. And again, guys, just take it. Be very, very careful here if you want to get overly bullish at these levels. I would prefer, a 10 or a 15% correction before you start adding to any of your long portfolios. IWM, and you can see here we did nothing here. We're inside day for the last 3 days. Okay, and last is going to be your Qs. Pay attention to some of those big cap tech, especially semis. Semiconductor has been doing really well. And here's right here. Here's the 119.30 needs to get taken out from higher prices. And if not, look for the TMT proprietary price channel here at 117.03 to 115.99 of your next area of support. All right, guys. I hope it helps. Let's see what happens. But I'm very excited getting into the fourth quarter and especially October. Remember, seasonality trends. October is notorious for market sell-offs. But again, so was August and September. We did nothing. So, you take that with a grain of salt. Have a great day, guys. We'll see.